The NORSE trial was presented at ESMO 2021. It's a randomized phase 2 study. It's investigating a patient population with advanced metastatic urothelial cancer. These patients are in the frontline setting, so previously untreated for advanced disease. They are ineligible for cisplatin-based therapy, but importantly, they have FGFR DNA alterations. We've done that by sending the tissue off for analysis. Why have we tested for that? Well, all the patients are getting an FGFR inhibitor called Erdafitinib. Erdafitinib is an FGFR inhibitor that's licensed in advanced disease. In fact, it has a 40% response rate in patients with platinum refractory disease, but it's not yet been tested in the frontline setting. It's a randomized phase 2 study on 1:1, where half the patients get Erdafitinib alone and the other half get Erdafitinib plus Cetrelimab. Cetrelimab is a PD-1 inhibitor. We haven't heard that much about it. It has phase 1b data, and in broad terms, it looks similar to other PD-1 inhibitors. The patient population was quite well balanced. It's the interim analysis of the NORSE study, which is only 90 patients, and this analysis is of approximately 50 patients. The numbers are modest at this stage because only 1 in 5 patients with metastatic urothelial cancer have FGFR DNA alterations. So there's a big screening program in many sites to get these selected patients to get the drugs, these personalized drugs, which we know work for them later in the disease. But if we put them earlier, can we get better results? What did we show? Well, in those patients that got the combination of Erdafitinib plus Cetrelimab, the response rate was 68%. The response rate for Erdafitinib alone was only 33%. Now, the numbers are modest and the confidence intervals are wide, but from the back of the room, the combination looks more active than the single agent. And importantly, the benchmark control for chemotherapy is somewhere between 40 and 50%, depending on whether it's Gem-Cis or Gem-Carbo to some extent. That 68% looks higher, looks competitive. And therefore, it's possible that this could be a competitive combination in a randomized phase 3 study. The adverse event profile of the combination and the single agent is worth focusing on. The combination is associated with an adverse event, grade 3 or 4 adverse event profile of 50%. This is only 38% for the single agent. This higher adverse event profile is probably related to the combination, but when you look at the toxicity, much of it is driven by the Erdafitinib, the FGFR targeting. It's worthwhile mentioning there was 1 treatment-related death that was due to respiratory failure in the combination. It wasn't associated with pneumonitis, and it's something we'll keep an eye on in the future. The NORSE trial will continue to its full 90 patients. That will probably require screening of 500 or 600 patients in view of the frequency of the alteration. The NORSE trial is important because if we can show these high response rates are associated with durable response rates, some of those issues about trying to get frontline patients into long-term durable remissions may be resolved in this select population. We need bigger studies and randomized trials to try and change practice, but I think this data as it stands is very promising.